Jai Guru to everyone. There is one thing, which is meditation, what we do. Yeah, that is the practice, how we will do what is the actual procedure, the way we should do this. Now, before uh, we understand what Thakurji has given us, we all know, we practice it. But as we know that everything we do get more impact on it or get more interest in it when we inquire about it too much, so much, and practice it and implement in our life, and then reconcile that time to time. Then our thought or whatever belief we have, that get more powerful, and we can stick to that at any point of life. So we cannot be deviated from that at any point. So that's why we need to, as we do, in a laboratory, when we are studying, we do practicals. Practicals means you are practicing on your hand, by hand, on job. And that is reinforcing your thought. And you are now 100% sure that why it is happening, reason behind it. And that is the spirituality anyway, we know. Thakurji has said that understanding of the innate reason. Now, I would go through a few of the things like Yogic Shastra, what actually it says, and what is the scientific aspect of it, of this meditation, and our anatomy and all. And what is Thakur's way of meditation, how it covers up everything in very simple way. And there is another part, which is meditation in holistic application. It's holistic application and attainment. This is the second part of meditation, which I am not going to cover, or we are not going to cover today, which is basically how the earlier meditation, what we are discussing, this is the meditation when we keep our eyes closed and do meditation. And the second part is when our eyes are open, how we meditate during our day. So that is ajap ajap, what Thakurji has said. So we will take maybe another separate session for that. So today I am going through the procedure, what Thakurji has said, and how it is applicable in our life. Now, in Yogic Shastra, there's the first thing is that there is an element of human energy. And that human energy comes from cosmic energy. We are connect ourselves with the source. And source is where from this creation is created. So the divine source, which is the originator of all this human being, all this living being, is the main source. What we call, Khiti Yop Tej Marud Bum, that all this new, all the origins from which all this creation has built. So that energy source we acquire within us, and that when we connect ourselves with that source of energy, we get our inner being get energized. And generally, according to our Shastra, all this yogi and Mahapurush, what we call Mahapurush, early days, all this Rishi Muni, they used to sit in a particular posture. And generally all this Sapta Chakra, means 7 chakra, we consider energy sources. It starts from, energy source start from the bottom of the spine and goes up to the brain. And that levels are first with our spine in the back. There we have Muladhar. We call it Muladhar or root chakra. That is the basic strength sits there. And then from there, when we sit in that posture and then start meditating, that energy level goes up slowly along the spine and reach up to the head. Now, next level is Swadhisthana, which is sacral, that is just between the the navel cord and the bottom. And then there is Manipura chakra, which is solar chakra, which is Navi Kundali. And then Anahata chakra. Anahata is just below the heart and above the where the body cage is ending in that part. And then Vishuddha chakra, which is back of our neck, spine's top almost, where it is connecting with the brain, and below our throat. That is just apple. We have apple here, below the apple. And then Gyan, Agya chakra. Agya chakra, what we know, that is in between the brow. And then Sahasrara chakra, which is generally we say Brahma chakra, which is sitting at the top of our talu, which is at the top of our head. So when we get this level, when we are touching the awareness, our Agya chakra, then we call it third eye, just now pineal gland, what Abhijit has said, that gives us awareness about ourselves. And then when we cross to that, reach to crown chakra, that is the samadhi level. When we get samadhi, all the Muni Rishis used to get samadhi. So that is the level of energy when it reaches there. So these are the energy level. Now, there are two types of meditation generally we consider. That is the conventional meditation, what we generally say mindfulness, guided meditation, that sort of thing, which is a very preliminary level of meditation that generally relaxes our body, our maturity level, thinking, thought process, and all this, external and internal, our actions get a sort of alignment and personal orientation. That means our internal effectiveness of different activities that gets a little bit organized, and we can manage a better life. But there is another level, which is transcendental meditation. That is connected with a higher level of spirituality. And that is the divine existence. Divine means, as I said before, that our body is our source is divine. From that divine source, we are generating, our body is created. So when we are connecting our self-consciousness, human consciousness, with the supreme consciousness, that is the transcendental meditation. It integrative perspective of self-consciousness and material world. So what we see outside our inner body, from inner body is our self-consciousness, whatever is happening within myself. And what is external, that is the material world. Inner world, material world. So that gives a sort of alignment between these two. And resilient wisdom of self. So we have knowledge. From knowledge, we gather wisdom. When that is what we call it, our sense, wisdom. And when we get that, then we can face, or we can care or manage all our adverse situations. Anything went wrong massively with me, I can manage it, I can handle it. So that is resilience within myself. And that generates from there. And activate and transformation of self-consciousness. So we have some consciousness, but this consciousness is generally in a sleeping condition most of the time. when we do the meditation, when we connect ourselves with the Supreme Consciousness, our consciousness level increases. So our Chetana means our Chetan gets, Chaitanya means it gets activated. Chetana, Chaitanya sange connected. So that is the attainment. And that is the transcendental meditation that gives us overall effect. Now, if we see the effects in a particular step by step, the it relaxes body pressure, posture. It gives us when we do meditation, it gives us a posture, body posture, which generates a composed physical state. That means when we are sitting in that posture, Sukhasana, sitting in Sukhasana and keeping our spine straight, keeping our face a little bit higher than the horizontal. In that posture, when we sit, our energy starts flowing, and when we are meditate in that condition. So body is getting aligned with means it is our body muscles become stress-free and unruffled. So it is slowly you will feel that our body is getting cool. We feel all the turbulence within the body is reducing. Then breathing becoming calm, mind gets peaceful. Then function of internal flow within body become tranquil. Flow means the blood flow, air flow, all these things happen. When we sit initially, we can feel it. Something is happening within our body when we slowly come down ourselves. So that is the part which we can consider as a mindfulness or guided meditation. It is that level of work up to that. And then we are going to the next level, and then senses become more active. So our sense, the wisdom or knowledge or thought process, everything getting more active, receptive, and agile. And then human consciousness catches the celestial power at its natural intensity. So what I said before, the celestial power means that divine power, that source of creation, we get connected with that. And that slowly intervene in our system. And that develop a cosmic connection to touch the dimension of creation. So that creation, that dimension, what I have said just before. And then consecrate a human consciousness with the source of divine power. That means supreme power. So divine power means here we are connecting with our supreme beloved. And that from that beloved, we get a sort of blessing, which we get as a form of love. And when I reach in that level, and I can focus him as we do, that is coming in later stage, then our consciousness become active, and we get a effect of it. Now, let us understand the scientific aspect of our human brain and what is this potential, because it gives us some sort of idea that what is this brain. We have some ideas, but we need to understand it a little bit more so that we can get a better understanding of how it works. Our brain cells, what we call it neurons, that is nervous cells. We have 15 billion neurons in our brain, and each one of them are capable to making a complex interaction. What is that interaction? Each one is connecting or continuously coordinating between each other, and that is sending electrochemical signals thousands of times every second. So every second, our brain is brain neurons are interacting between each other. But we use our brain only 10%, less than 10% capacity. Because I think there is a reason of it. Obviously, it can be used more, but there is a reason of so much less use is it is always omnipresent. It's always active. So there is I think some part of it, because it is continuously running, it never sleeps. It has a certain percentage is engaged for that, but still 10% can be increased a lot. By doing meditation, we can achieve this level of increase of our ability to use the brain cells. And how it's at anatomy. But just now, Abhijit was telling, if we see the upper part section of our brain, that is called cerebral cortex, which is a combination, which is a major part of our brain, top part, entire top part. And that is again divided in different, like frontal lobe, different part, it is broken. And then brain is again cut in two pieces, two hemisphere it has. So each part is having a separate functions. So it is not everything is one, it's all having different functions. Now, the controls the function, the first part, which is this cerebral cortex, that generally controls the function, intelligence, thoughts, learning, decision making, and so many other intellectual things what we take decisions. But other part also balance certain other things like cerebellum, which is in the back of our brain, below the brain, that contains our balance and alignment. We can stand on based on that. So many other parts are there, but these are the major part which is connected with our meditation. And just below that cortex, if you see the top section or just at the middle section, if you draw a center from center, drop a line, in that place, we have two or three actually glands. One is pituitary gland, one is pineal gland, another one is hypothalamus gland. So they are actually having a major impact on our entire body. So if you see, I have a picture here. If you see, this is the upper cortex. Below that, if you draw a line from between the eyebrows straight in the center of that point, we meet a point that is called pituitary gland. It is just like a P. And just above that, there is another nerve, another gland, which is called hypothalamus. And then just behind that, there is the pineal gland. Generally, pineal gland is known as a third eye. Now, pituitary gland has a major function of releasing hormone, which does quite a lot of activities, lot of our organs, different organs, its function totally controlled by this hormone secretion from the pituitary gland. The one of them is the growth hormone, which promotes growth of the entire body by affecting protein formation, cell multiplication, and cell differentiation. So all the cell or internal connections, internal body functions is connected with that. ACTH, which is another controlling factor of secretion of some of the endocrinal and endocrinic, whatever, which affect the metabolism of our body, protein, fats, controlling. So you can see this from this, our entire body mechanically or metabolism point of view, functional point of view, and they are connected with all our organs, like, our lungs, our kidney, all other organs in our body. And then thyroxine, so thyroid glands, which is again controlling a lot of adrenal gland. Then hypothalamus is also another nervous system, which is connecting pituitary gland with the entire endocrinal system. And then pineal gland is connected with our sleeping habits and nervous system, then endocrinal functioning, regulation of hormone secretion. So many things is connected from these three minor glands. And why I am saying all this gland, not other things, because these are the major part of which is affecting from this meditation. And they are actually controlling all the body, entire body. And our system is running and aligning or getting a sort of assimilated condition from these three nerves. So this vibration has a major impact on our body. This vibration on these three glands, which is just in a small area, one after another. Now, coming back to Sri Thakur's way of meditation. We know what we do in Thakur's meditation. I'm not going too much in detail, but just to relate with what I have said before, how Thakurji has said. In Alochana Prasange, first edition, volume 19, page 85, Sri Thakur has said, there are three types of mind. The Pindi mana is the bodily mind that lives in the narrow worldly activities. That means that whatever activity we do every day, we face so many things, our mind says, do this, do that. So this is basically normal activities, what we do, man direct us. Man means our mind direct us. And then there is the Brahmandi mana. That means it is universal mind that lives with universal interaction. So it is a little bit wider with our environment, with our all activities, whatever we are doing, surrounding, relations, everything. And then Nirmal Chaitanya Mana. So this is Chaitanya. It is coming to consciousness. Is the mind of supreme consciousness is being guided by the supreme being. So this is always pure. Does everything being guided by the supreme being. So this is above the complexes. This stay above the complexes, which is staying in a part of our mind and destructive force for our any execution. So generally it is very dominating and it is powerful and direct our activities of behavior quite significantly. So when we can control this three mana through meditation, for that Thakurji has given us this practice, which eventually from this we can recognize the spiritual needs, why we need it. So that is the Jigyashuman. That means we are seeker. We are seeking why it is happening. So we are looking for purpose of anything. And that generally govern this development within our mind, within our system, our consciousness. is generally govern our mind. We get a self-realization, what I am, what is my purpose. We can understand that. Consciousness, which I have said that above all, the consciousness, our Chaitanya, Chetna. And so that is the source of our final requirement, which is the happiness. So meditation at the end giving us happiness and a connection with the consciousness. In this regard, Thakur has said that through meditation and repetition of the holy mantra, the brain cells are stimulated and gradually become more responsive. Thus, the happiness of the senses is increased. Happiness. Thus, the sharpness of the senses is increased. So that means when we are doing this holy mantra and meditating, what is actually happening is that the third stage where we are concentrating on reaching the consciousness, that time what Thakurji has given us is the name and a picture of Thakurji. What does it mean? So far, whatever we have learned is internal system, its sitting pose, posture and all, that is giving a kind of stimulating our body and mind. But above all, above mind is the consciousness. And when we are concentrating, sitting quietly and trying to concentrate here, we cannot concentrate because any abstract vision, abstract thought, abstract picture cannot concentrate our mind. So that's why Thakurji has given us this picture. What is that picture? That is our Supreme Beloved. So Supreme Beloved means we can love someone if I can see him. That's why a living idol. If we see him, if we can see him sitting here in the center of our eyebrow, and then if we can feel him and love him, not only feel him, love him, then that consciousness actually generates. Then we are connected with the divine power. So up till that time, if we are not getting that sort of concentration, we cannot feel Thakur is sitting here and with that love, feeling of love, if I cannot conceive it within myself, I am not attaining that meditation, which I am supposed to attain. And when I get in that level, then all our energy level goes up to the top. And then we end up in a state of what we call it samadhi. But that is extreme level. That is the spirituality level. So when we get that, we really feel that we are in the transcendental state. We are connected with the divine power, the source. So that is, I think, all about meditation, what I can conceive. Very nice that what is mind and what is consciousness. Now, I have said here that supreme consciousness and consciousness, two things. You know, all this creation was created from source, that is Khiti of Tej Marut Bom. And from that, 5 Shunna, air, space, and fire and all. So from this, the creation starts. Now, initially there was a concept that consciousness create in English it is like that, but in Sanskrit it actually goes like Chaitanya and Jada. So Chaitanya means consciousness, Jada means which is matter. So Chaitanya and Jada, two things. And Chaitanya came first to create Jada. Then another concept came, which is Jada, means this matter creates Chaitanya. First matters come and then consciousness appear. Then there was a concept which is both are going parallelly. Consciousness is also there, matter is also there. Yeah. But eventually what finally we are now considering is Chaitanya and means consciousness and Jada means matter. Both are there, but Chaitanya is a constant. Matter superimposed in it means Jada goes in it. That means Chaitanya means consciousness. Man is a static, it is a Jada padartha. So mind is part of this consciousness. So that means, say for instance, take an example of ocean is made up of water. Yeah. Now water is Chaitanya. And the wave in this river, in this ocean, that is created from the water source. So it is developed. Again, water is always constant. This water you can bring it in a pot, in a bucket, it is still. But this again, when it is going to in another shape, another form, another area, it is creating a different thing. Say myself, sometimes I am morose, I am in depression or frustrated. Sometimes I am bored. Sometimes I am very much, joyful. Sometimes I am very angry. So which one is me? Yeah, I have different situations. Who actually I am? Is that angry man is me? Is that depressed person is me? They are individual status and they are drishya. And drashta is my consciousness. Consciousness is sitting here and watching all of mine. So I am there. So when I am saying I means my consciousness. I am watching all this status of my mind. And mind is actually drishya. My consciousness is drashta. He is watching. Mind is acting in different role.
I was trying to ask,
Yeah.
why during the meditation, when we do meditation and when we start doing the meditation, there is whole lot of worldly thing, like everything, like Abhijit was saying, office, friends, family, brother, sister, whatever you have done, they all comes apart from the meditation thing.
Yeah.
And how can you get eliminate that? How can you get, like, that's what my question was from Abhijit. How did he started doing that? So when he told that once he has started doing meditation, he stopped things from outside to bring it inside when he sit down in the meditation, which is a very big step, I think, because still I am not able to go more than 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because when we talk about the Thakurji's picture, still it doesn't last for long. It start disappearing and it goes away, and then you try to pull him to the center and it doesn't come up.
Shall I say, Amit? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll just say, Ajay, from my experience, as I mentioned that initially I had this issue, but now I don't have this issue anymore. I can concentrate without any problem.
Oh, that's nice.
And what happened actually, I analyzed myself, because if you are working in the office and if you're doing some job or whatever, and if you start, like arguing with somebody, or if you, like, if you bring your your work from office to home, and if you keep on lingering, then it comes in my mind. Like, if I have anything like, in the office, if I am doing some project work and I know that person is not doing the job correctly, and if I think about it, then it will not help me to meditate. Whereas if I make myself thinking that no, he must have some problem doing this, so he has some issue with this, so I'm sure he will do it later on, or something which you do. And I think just Thakurji's teachings helps us to eradicate all this thinking which we have. For example, if in the WhatsApp group somebody says something to me, and if I said no, okay, I'll have to type something to to make myself
React.
like something like that. But if I say no, okay, somebody has said something, that's fine, I don't have any problem. If I just close that, then that will not come to my mind again. Otherwise I will keep on thinking that I'll have to give tit for tat or something like that.
Yeah, based on what Thakurji has said in normal case. So when we are comparing all this thing and analyzing myself within myself, then I am rectifying these situations, and that is the dhyan. So meditation with a particular happenings or any analyze it, and that is also a dhyan. Dhyan is not only the name chanting. So Thakurji has given a definition of dhyan that when we are thinking too much deep in a matter is dhyan. Now, it can be an incident also. So what I am saying here, for our eyes closing condition, which is quite normal, everybody, all of us face it. In the beginning, mainly we face it. The reason is that when we close our eyes, we get all the thing happen during the day. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't work all the time. So what we do, that's why this dhyan process. So it clarifies my questions, and I can find out a solution, and it is eliminated from my thought process. But when we sit in front of Thakur, the main point to how we can live, how we can get out of this practice, this situation, Thakurji has said that when you are doing meditation, you should not try to eliminate the unrequired, which you are not willing to take. That sort of undue things, you should not try to eliminate it. You absorb everything, whatever you are getting. And now try to concentrate on what you are actually looking for. You are looking for Thakurji's picture in your center of your brow. So you just concentrate on that. Others will disappear automatically. But if I try to remove those negative thoughts, what will happen? I will concentrate on the negative thoughts more. To eliminate it, I am actually concentrating on that. So it is just increasing. My negative thought is increasing. Instead, I absorb everything and then concentrate on the positive thought, which is Thakur's picture. Then negative thoughts will disappear. So that's why Thakur has given us this focus and love. So we have to keep that love within. That's why I said the third stage, which is the consciousness level, that the transcendental level, that is actually focusing Thakur in our center of brow and concentrate with the love. So that love actually the bonding factor here. That will not allow you to go out of that positive thinking. So that we have to practice. When we will be able to practice that in our meditation time, we are going towards success. I think I answered this question.
Whatever I said is based on my experience. I did not search anything in the internet or anything like that. It's all my experience, whether it's pineal gland or anything. So for food, I will say, before going to bed, I meditate like an hour or so. And I found that whenever I used to eat, like not able to concentrate properly. Ajayda, that might help your question as well. My concentration was not that perfect, I would say. It's not like 100%. But when my food level is, my intake is okay, and it's not that heavy, then I am able to sit properly. My alertness net and everything is proper. So this is only vegetarian food. I don't know, whoever is eating non-vegetarian food, I don't think they will be able to concentrate. It will be much more difficult for them to concentrate. But yes, if we eat less spicy and all, then less oily, then it helps more to concentrate during meditation. That's my experience. Just to give one example regarding this consciousness and mind, and this again is my experience. Like sometimes if I go and do something very wrong, like if I kill somebody, yeah, my consciousness for the first time will tell that I've done something wrong, you know. But if I do again and again, then what I'm doing, I'm overriding my consciousness. My mind is taking control of my consciousness, and then my consciousness cannot do anything. That stops there. And that's the reason why you find the criminals and all, the first time they will think, that they have done wrong. But the next time they are not going to think anymore because the consciousness is gone. It's not linked anymore with the mind. So that's my, small example. People say about the pineal gland, it is very difficult to activate. It's not actually, I'm sure if we all try, it's nothing to do with the age limit or anything like that. I think if we do sincerely morning, evening, it's very easy to activate the pineal gland. And the reason why I'm saying easy, because with Thakurji's, teachings or Thakurji's way of doing meditation, where you have this chakra photo where we concentrate in our, eyebrow, and then we repeat the nam, it becomes much more easier. That's what I felt. That's all. Whatever I say today is all based on my experience.